Hey everyone, Michelle here from Scrappy Soul Sister. Thank you for joining me today for this process video. Now I am doing a scrapbook layout for Peartree cut files using one of their prescription cut files for April. And so I am using, I don't know if you can see it, I'll hold it up, but this is the Go Everywhere, Do Everything, See Everything cut file, and I see I got a little bit of pink or something on there, but I am going to color these anyway with Salvage Patina, Wild Honey, and Rusty Hinge, and I'm not sure, I might try to color blend the Go, Do, and See, and then do these just in single colors. I don't know yet. We'll see how it turns out. And I am going to use the Wanderlust collection from 49 and Market. I thought one of these big blocks would be good for something like this. And I might like cut out just a piece out of one of the basics and mount it up a little bit so this can sit up and I can slide embellishments under. Haven't decided on that yet, so let's take a look and dig in. So as you can see, I have cut out my cut file just in a solid white, and I'm going to go ahead and color it with those three inks that I talked about in the intro. So this is the Salvage Patina, and I'm going to do that full word and then the tops of the Go and Do and See. And so I really like these three colors together, and it felt like it matched the collection pretty well. So here it is completed. At least all the ink is on it. I'm going to go ahead and spray it a little bit to get it to blend. And I love the water spots from when you use the water with that ink or water reactive distress ink. And I'm going to go ahead and carefully lift this off of my Cricut mat because obviously it's still a bit damp because I'm too impatient to wait, and it is a little on the fragile side because of that dampness. So here are my completed uh, cut files. So go everywhere, see everything, and do everything. And I'm trying to figure out, how well is this going to fit? How large do I need to make my block for it to perch on? So I'm going to go ahead and grab a ruler and measure that out. And I am taking a look at the colors too, and the colors, oh, a little bit of my hair in there. The colors match really well, but they're a little too clean. So you'll see I'm going to fix that here shortly. And then with this block, I did go ahead and ink up the edges with walnut stain. I lifted it onto some foam. I'm trying to make sure this is the paper that I want, and I think I take a look at one more, and this one is actually my favorite, but I decide not to use it for this particular layout. And now I am figuring out because I want pictures in the Go, Do, and See. So I'm just using the outline from where I had cut my titles previously to get my pictures on here and let my Cricut do the work. And so my pictures are from Venice. So one is of the canal, one is of the arches there at St. Mark's Cathedral. I think the second one or the third one will be from the canal as well. And so if you don't feel like fussy cutting, and these probably, they would have been pretty easy to cut around, but I didn't want to deal with that E so much, and so I'm letting my Cricut do it for me. And so I think I'm about ready, and I'll take this to my cutter and let's take a look at. So I mentioned that the titles were a little bit on the clean side, so I am going to hit them with walnut stain, both with the Distress ink, and then I'm going to spray them with my Distress Spritz in walnut stain, and that's going to grunge them up a bit, which is kind of what I was looking for. I'm also going to stamp on them using this Tim Holtz cursive stamp and then my little postage stamp that I am using now. And I think these last two steps are, I have the title the way I want, except for you'll see my little star dish. I have the uh, interior cuts for the O's and the D. Totally forgot to grunge those up, and so I'm going to do that off camera. All right, and so I think I have everything the way I want it now. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Sweet Petunia glue gun with the fine tip to apply some glue into my Go, See, and Do for my photos and get those lined up. And I have uh, uh, not grunched up or yeah, no, I haven't grunched up my interior little pieces there yet. And so, like I said, I do that off camera. And so I wanted the pictures in the words, um, but I do use other pictures on this layout as well. Um, and so there you see. I'm trying to figure out how I want it to fit. And I realized the exterior of the layout was looking a little clean. So I did ink that with walnut stain as well. And so now I'm just going to adhere my title to the block there. And the top portion of the go and the bottom portion of the do are going to hang off a little bit. And that, oh, there's some more of my hair again. I wear it like on a top knot over my head a lot of times when I craft. So I need to make sure it's contained a little bit better. Um, but I've edited out some of that gluing so you can just see the final uh, product here, and above the go and below the do, I am going to do a couple little embellishment clusters, and so that is kind of my intention there. And I have completed my little extras here, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere those, and then I believe it will be all ready to go on my page. And I'm taking another look, and I almost use up paper, but no, I don't. So, okay, so everything is kind of on there, and I just want to make sure everything's somewhat straight, but I kind of the words are kind of meant to be a little loosey-goosey, so I am not too concerned. But I'm going to start building that cluster above go. I'm going to use that tag, and one of the frames I cut in half, I'm using that little floral piece, and I am pretty uh, pretty sure that's what I want, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere it. I have some blue twine that I am going to use. It's kind of a bluish green that I'm going to use to tie off that tag. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half so that I can use the bottom portion below. And I have just a little bit of foam tape below the top of it so it sits up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that floral. I'm going to adhere that globe. And I am also going to put a little ticket off to the left. And I am going to add some sort of word phrase up there. Um, oh, we've taken a big jump. And so I must have um, left out some of that cluster building up at the top and down at the bottom. So my apologies for that. But I am showing you, I just wanted to fill a little bit of the space in between those three large words. And so I'm using some of the rub-ons from the kit to fill in that space. And I thought, with a little bit of a smaller scale, that would work pretty well. So I'm using that explore the world and then also the enjoy the journey. So I have both of those on, and can see the cluster I did at the bottom is very similar to the one at the top. I used some word verbiage. I used the rest of that tag and some florals, a compass, a little backpack. So pretty cute elements in this Wanderlust kit. So I'm excited to use this kit. It's the first time that I've broken it out. I do want to add just a little bit more to that explore the world and enjoy the journey. And so I'm looking at, what other elements I can use. And so I decide to go with a couple of arrows. And so I'm going to look at a couple different places that I can use those, but that is going to change because I am going to use them. I'm going to tie them into those two rub-ons. And so you'll see, there we go. I'm just going to turn them a little bit. And I like how that is helping fill that space in between my title strips. And so I like that so far. Now, I also, like I mentioned before, I want to add some more photos. And so I have I cut out 6 out of a 3.5 by 5 uh, piece of photo paper. So they're a little bit smaller than 2 by 2 each. And so I'm going to go ahead and mat those and adhere them to my layout. So here they are, ready to go. And I do put a little bit of a little foam strip on the top and then towards the bottom of the one that goes to the bottom, just so they have a little bit of a shadow to them. And I'm getting pretty close to being done. I know this has been a bit of a journey. There's been a lot of little pieces in this layout. I do grab once I get this little piece adhered, I look at my enamel pieces real quick. Oh, and I'm going to glue down that little tail of my twine. And I pull off a couple of planes, and I'm just going to add those to my little arrows. So that just continues that rub on. So thanks everyone for joining me, and hit like or subscribe. Check out the link for Peartree files and have a great day. Thank you.